Jim, thank you for the introduction. I have a little problem about the 8 minutes, but nevertheless, I've never been known to lack a capacity for words. As many other previous speakers have said, I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate and commend Monsieur Thierry Montmiel for organizing the World Policy Conference, which I think in a sense melds two major events, the Munich Security Conference and the Davos World Economic Forum. And I think together is trying to find an answer to the most important challenges that we face today. I sought Jim's permission to speak from the podium because I think security issues are the 400-pound gorilla in the salons where you discuss global governance and international relations. And gorillas are never known to sit down and speak. They stand and perform. Let me begin by saying that 2011 is separated from 2010 by just a few months. But it looks almost as if it belongs to a different era. The changes that have taken place have been fundamental. They appear to many to be sudden, but I believe that they have been in the making for a long time. And I think what I propose to say today is to put out a subtle warning that there are many things taking place below the surface in the strategic realm which we should be prepared for, and we should not be taken by surprise. There are 5 aspects that I propose to touch upon. One is the growth and spread of extremist and fundamentalist ideas, which I think is going to be a major issue. The second is on asymmetric warfare, especially terrorism. Third and fourth are cyber issues or cyber warfare issues and nuclear security. Both were touched upon, or rather discussed in some detail in one of the previous panels yesterday. But I would like to say that I would try to bring a security perspective to these 2 issues. And I think a point that has been touched upon on various previous occasions, the security of the global commons. Let me start with the growth and spread of fundamentalist and extremist ideas. I think everybody in this room would agree that in the 21st century, we are bound to witness a surge in the growth and spread of such ideas. In turn, they will spawn a host of dangerous ideologies, armed with a powerful narrative and aided by a corpus of educated, disgruntled youth. It would become possible for these elements to spread their message across the globe, making full use of globalized communications and the internet. Hence, one of the critical issues for the 21st century will be how to deal with this narrative of radicalization. I think it would demand a carefully thought-out strategic approach to prevent relatively minor situations from getting out of hand. Next, coming to terrorism on asymmetric warfare, I am certain that in the 21st century, terrorism will become a strategic instrumentality in conflicts against established states. Governments will especially need to develop policies and actions that counter the legitimization of terrorist acts employing a single or a simplistic narrative. It could be, for instance, of a religious ideology under attack or something else. But it would obscure the fundamental reality that terrorism's aims are political rather than anything else. Allow me to outline some of the dangers that are evident already. First, states will need to effectively deal with the growing phenomenon of non-state actors. There have been reference to non-state actors in many other contexts, but I think it will be particularly relevant in the context of terrorism. They will be the archetypal asymmetric warriors of the 21st century, able to operate seamlessly across nations and societies, and bringing with them many specialized skills, things that governments will find it increasingly difficult to confront or contend with. Second, very energetic efforts will need to be employed to prevent terrorists from acquiring new technologies and new methodologies. Already, terrorist outfits, particularly the Al-Qaeda and the Lashkar-e-Taiba in the South Asian context, have dedicated departments for technology acquisition and technology research. Third, states will also need to put in place measures that can checkmate terrorist outfits from enlarging their networking strength. This is evident. It is evident already that terrorist outfits network extensively, and the tendency is bound to grow. Osama bin Laden's revolutionary philanthropy, by which terrorist outfits were assisted with arms, material, and logistics, have led to the emergence of many more international terrorist groups. Many of them are linked together in various ways. In South Asia, for instance, the Lashkar-e-Taiba, based in Pakistan, has extensive links, apart from with the Al-Qaeda, with groups like the Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, the Al-Shabaab in Africa, the Tehreek-e-Taliban in Pakistan, the Harkat-ul-Jamaat-e-Islami, and the Jamaat-e-Islami in Southeast Asia. Each of this has led to an enlargement of their capacity to strike. Fourth, states must ensure and prevent the frightening possibility of a possible descent into catastrophic terrorism, were terrorists to gain access to nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons. This is not too distant as may seem. A manifest effort is already being made by some terrorist groups to secure nuclear fissile material and recruit physicists and engineers so as to be able to build at least a crude nuclear weapon. Allow me also to make a brief reference to the prevalent patterns of terrorism in South Asia that have a resonance and a message for other countries across the globe. For example, the Lashkar-e-Taiba, which is the main perpetrator of terrorist attacks in many parts of South Asia, particularly in India, has been able over the years to advance and especially progress its capacities and capabilities. The universally condemned terrorist attack in Mumbai on the 26th of November 2008 was their handiwork. But more important was the fact that the sophistication that was displayed on that occasion was frightening in its capacity and capability. Many acts of terrorism today are being carried out by small, decentralized terrorist modules, which are linked to known terrorist organizations outside the country. The new imperative is multi-targeting to maximize the impact of a terrorist attack. Quite a few of these terrorists are homegrown, who are able to merge easily with local communities. They're often radicalized locally and then later sent to training camps, or maybe sometimes in Yemen, the Afghan-Pakistan border, and the like. Ladies and gentlemen, terrorism is becoming a hydra-headed monster in more senses than one. I therefore appeal to the audiences here that any slackening of the global war on terrorism could be a serious and grievous mistake, and we should avoid this.